is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video, and today we're going over my Week 5 MLB Power Rankings. Lots of movement. Another team is dropping out of the top 10. Last week we saw, I can't remember which team we saw drop out of the top 10, but we have a team dropping out of the top 10, and we have a team dropping out of the number 2 spot. A little bit of shift up at the top, a little bit of shift up at the bottom. A lot of hot takes in this one, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and leave a like on this video if you enjoy MLB content. I try to post at least one video a day for you guys, and we're always talking baseball. Now, with my power rankings, it's very clear I am an Angels fan, but I do want to make it clear I try to keep my bias out of this, and you will see when we get to the top, you will see my bias, the fact that I ignored my bias in this one. So without further ado, let's get into the rankings, start talking about it. I will say I don't have a ton of time to edit this video, so actually, you know, maybe I'll send it to Frank. Yeah, we'll see. I'll call him after this. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Let's get into the video. All right, starting off, I don't think there's any shakeup in the bottom, actually. Yeah, the bottom 5, I kept the exact same, because it's just how I feel. The Reds are the worst team in baseball. We saw them get we saw them throw a no-hitter and lose yesterday. The Pirates got no hit yesterday. Two worst teams in baseball. I think that's pretty clear. The Royals are pretty garbage. Honestly, all three of these teams, I could have shaken it up a little bit, but it would have been like the A's to 26, the Tigers to 27, the Royals to 26. I don't know. It wouldn't have been much of a change. So the bottom 5 stays the exact same as last week. Let's get into the bottom 10. All right, 25 through 21, we got the Nationals staying at 25, the Cubs staying at 24, but we did have a little shakeup here between 21 and 23. The Red Sox beat the Rangers, so I moved them from 23 up to 21. The Orioles, honestly, I kind of wanted to keep the Orioles in front of the Red Sox for now, but I will say, obviously, the Orioles aren't as good of a team as the Red Sox, but they have been playing better baseball, but the Red Sox did take 2 of 3 from the Texas Rangers, so I had to put them above them. Still, all 3 of these teams struggling mightily, and the only team I think has the potential to turn it around would be the Boston Red Sox. All right, next up we got 16 through 20. A little bit of, actually a lot of shakeup here. We have the White Sox falling to number 16 despite having a record over 500 this week. I just think they're not playing as good a baseball as all the teams I put ahead of them, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks. Round of applause for the Arizona Diamondbacks. What an impressive team. I don't know what's going on, but their pitching's been phenomenal, and their hitting's been good enough to get by over 500 for... I just can't believe this team is over 500. This is the team that went like 3-25 in the month of, I want to say it was the month of June last year whenever my Angels played them. This team was atrocious, but they're actually playing very good baseball right now. Very curious to see how their year shapes up. Next, we got the Miami Marlins. They dropped quite a bit. They just haven't been winning games. 3-7 in their last 10. I don't know what's wrong. I assume it's the bats. Just overall, they're just not winning baseball games right now. Starting pitching's elite. We'll see if they're buyers or sellers near the trade deadline, because they could definitely use some more bats, and they have plenty of pitching to let go of. We also got the Colorado Rockies here at 19 and the Atlanta Braves at 20. Both of these teams are just struggling mightily right now. I mean, the Rockies we expected to be around 5. No, honestly, the Rockies are playing better than expected. I expected the Rockies to be kind of in that bottom 5 conversation, but the Atlanta Braves, holy crap, man. They're what, 4 games below 500, 3 games below 500, and they don't have any change in sight. I don't know what's going on with them right now. I know they got off to a slow start last year, but my God, dude, I cannot believe they're still under 500. I can't remember the last time they were over 500. It would have been like the first week of the season. No, not even, because they lost the first game of the season. I don't know what's wrong with the Atlanta Braves. I hope they shape it up because they're a fun team to watch, but for now, gotta have them in the 20 spot. All right, and numbers 15 through 10, I told you we had a team drop out of the top 10. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first, the Seattle Mariners. I moved up a couple of spots because they just won a series against the Mets. This is a scary team. They got a lot of young talent. As an Angels fan, I'm very scared of this team. When we fly to Seattle, I am very, very, very worried about that series. Regardless of how bad their record is, I'm still going to put some respect on the Mariners' name. They just got a lot of young talent. George Kirby looks pretty dang good out there. Eventually, I assume Julio Rodriguez at least is going to turn it around. I don't know about Jared Kelenic. I'm still iffy on him. But Jesse Winker's starting to hit the ball very well. Eugenio Suarez has been very good. Obviously, Ty France and J.P. Crawford are just, you know, the next coming of Ichiro Suzuki and Edgar Martinez, I guess. I don't know, man. They have just been tearing the cover off the ball. And if that lineup starts to click like they did last year, and they can win a lot of those one-run games, We'll have to see. But right now, I got them at 15. Next, we got the Cleveland Guardians, over 500 in their last 10 games. Right around the 500 mark. And in the AL Central, that's going to be, honestly, probably enough to win the AL Central. So, got my eyes on the Cleveland Guardians. The only reason I have them above the White Sox is because they've been playing better and they have a better pitching staff, in my opinion. So that's why I got them there at 14. That might be a little bit of a hot take. Next, all the way up to 13, after winning a series against the Dodgers and being over 500 in their last 10, the Philadelphia Phillies. I've been super impressed with the way they were hitting the ball in LA last week. Bryce Harper was tearing the cover off the ball. Schwarber had a couple of home runs. Castellanos, I think, was doing well. I don't think I heard much about him, but I assume he was doing well with all the runs they were scoring. The Phillies, I would love to see the Phillies be good. They just haven't been to start the year, but hey, 13 in this week's power rankings. They could be fighting for a top 10 spot. Next up, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals at 12. I did drop them one spot, but it wasn't really because they played bad. They've been playing about as good as I expected them to play. I feel like they are a fringe top 10 team, so this is feels like a good spot for them right now. They did win a couple of games against the Giants, which was really nice. Albert Pujols getting on the bump. I love to see that, but yeah, Cardinals at 12, and then the most disappointing team in baseball to this point, the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know how this team isn't under 500. They had such a good start to the year. That's the only reason they're not under 500. But man, they have been struggling as of late, and they're struggling. I understand they have a hard schedule as well, because you know, the Rays are a pretty good team. I'm trying to think who else they've played. Yeah, the Yankees, the Guardians, but they are starting to get a little bit of an easier schedule. They play the Mariners this week, so either the Mariners or the Blue Jays are about to turn it around and become really good. Then they get to play the Reds, which will be really nice, and then they finish the month off against the Cardinals, Angels, and White Sox. So they definitely have an opportunity to get back on the train, but right now, man, 11th is where I've got them at. This is a team that a lot of people pick to win the World Series, and I think they're still a very good ball club. The bullpen is a little sketchy in my opinion, though. Next up, we've got the beginning of the top 10 here, just sneaking in, just barely squeaking in. It was really tough to put this team in the top 10, but I decided to do it. They're 5 games over 500, the Minnesota Twins. You know, you see my Vikings flag up here. I love me some Minnesota sports. You know, honestly, with both of their basketball team and their hockey team getting eliminated in the first round, I had to show the Twins some love. So there we go. My buddy Royce Lewis hitting his first home run in the Grand Slam over there. Correa when he's on, Buxton when he's on. The pitching's been great. I'm a pretty big fan of this team. I think they could win the AL Central for sure. Just above them, we got the San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants have been a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. They're still well over 500, but they are a little bit disappointing, a little bit worse than I thought they would be. I still think they have a chance to win the NL West, but they are going to have to step it up, because just above them, you can see you've got the Padres. First, let's talk about the Rays. They were at number 4 in last week's power rankings. Dropped off a little bit, especially after losing that series to the Angels. And they did win a couple against the Blue Jays, so they are still a very good baseball team, but I did have to drop them down a little bit after losing to the Angels. And then just above them, the San Diego Padres, top 5 in last week's power rankings. Their bullpen has been a little shaky as of late, but still playing very good baseball, second place in the NL West. And with the Dodgers struggling, there's definitely a chance they could overtake them, hopefully at least for a few games, you know. And I told you guys, I am not gonna be biased when I'm doing these when I'm doing these power rankings, and I don't have the Angels above the Astros. But at number 6, we do have the Milwaukee Brewers. They've been hitting so much better than I've been expecting. I will say they are beneficiaries of the easiest schedule in all of baseball. They've been playing the Reds a ton. They've been playing the Pirates. They've been playing a lot of struggling teams, the Cubs. They've been playing a lot of bad teams. So I think they're a little bit of a product of a bad schedule, but they do look very, very good right now. Next up, we got my Anaheim Angels, man. The Angels look so freaking good. They did have that shaky blown save from Rysel in Game 2 of the Oakland A's series. Otherwise, it would have been a clean sweep. They're going on to play the Rangers now. They got a little bit of an easy stretch going into the month of June, where it heats up a ton. They have to play the Yankees, the Mets. They got a lot of teams they got to play. 5 games in 4 days in Seattle. It's going to be a very, very tough stretch for the Angels coming up. But for now, they're playing a lot of easy teams, so that number 5 spot feels justified for me. Sorry, they did beat the Rays, who are over 500. but they have a lot of easy games coming up, so I don't feel like they're going to lose a ton. And then just above them, the Houston Astros, man, the hottest team in baseball right now. I'll be honest. Maybe you could argue the Yankees, but the Houston Astros, the only reason I put them above the Angels is mainly because they have the series. It's a 3-4 split right now. The Angels have won 3, the Astros have won 4. So I got to keep them above the Angels slightly. This is going to be a fun division race if both of these teams can keep it up. I'm not worried about the Astros, but obviously we're all a little bit scared of the Angels falling apart late in the season. So right now we got Astros 4, Angels 5. And I told you we had some shakeup in the top 3. Dodgers falling all the way to the number 3 spot. That's probably as low as they'll get in the whole season. So let's cherish this moment in history where the Dodgers are not the best team in the power ranking for the second week in a row. They lost a series to the Phillies. What else can I say? This team lost a series. I will say the Mets did drop a series to the Mariners, which is why I dropped them below. But the Yankees didn't lose any series this weekend. So, by association, hottest team in baseball that's playing the best baseball. Second hottest team in baseball that's playing the best baseball. And then the Dodgers. The Dodgers are just the Dodgers. Regardless of how good they're playing, they're the Dodgers. You got to have them in the top 3 regardless. But those are my power rankings. Let's take a look at the 1 through 30 real quick. I'm going to do a little bit of off-screen recording here, so if you want to take a screenshot, feel free to do so. These are my numbers 11 through 30 here one more time, and then follow it up closely, the 1 through 10. So feel free to take a screenshot, share it on social media. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know down in the comment section below if you think I got it right, who you think should overtake who. The way I do my power rankings is if I take a team, if I take the team below them, who's going to win that matchup? And if I think the team is going to win a matchup, I put it above the other team. That was kind of confusing, but you get the gist of it. I try to keep my bias out of this, and I feel like that's what a lot of you guys like about it. So let me know down in the comments if you think I did a good job or if there's something you would change. Leave a like on this video, help it reach as many baseball fans as possible. I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a great rest of your day.